Hey, greetings! Performance reviews where I give you the review from the technician's point of view, and since a lot of you viewing this are probably not my usual audience, I am a long-term veteran of the vacuum industry, and I usually do in-depth reviews on products, taking them apart, and giving you my opinion based on what I've seen in the vacuum industry. So if you were expecting like a stay-at-home or real happy review, this might not be the video for you. The Amazon Basics vacuum is below basic and definitely not on par with the rest of the industry, and I have had a good many years to test out pretty much every other vacuum on the market. So when you hear these things and I'm nitpicking these things in this video, just be aware there are better options out there, and I have tried them and have videos on them, and I'll make sure at the end of this video and in the description to make my recommendations to you available. As you can see, the Amazon Basics vacuum is basic. The box is perhaps the most plain Jane thing I've seen, next to maybe a like a Recar box or something. Go ahead and open it and see what you get. Before we go any further, I'd like to just point out on this is that this is not made in China. It's actually made in Vietnam, which is interesting, but I suspect that this has to do with supply chain issues over there right now in China, so it's made in Vietnam. As we open the box, let's see what you get. Ooh. Amazon Basics, they give you kind of a hefty manual. Oh, it's in French, English, and Spanish, so Romance languages. Interesting. You get a crevice tool. You get a dinky little dusting brush. You get a, it's going to have one of those handle wands. All the packing does seem pretty eco-friendly. I'll give that to Amazon, as there's only cardboard in here and a plastic bag. So they know you're going to be throwing the entirety of this away, so they're trying to be as easy as they can, I guess, on the environment. All right, just to clarify what you get in the box, you get a handle/wand assembly, a dinky dusting brush, a crevice tool, and a small stretch hose, a manual, and the vacuum itself. Let's go ahead and assemble it. So assembly is pretty straightforward. The handle just goes in here and locks. It has a point where it indexes. Then that unlocks it so you can use it as a wand. The hose just swivels on and off, and the hose plugs in down here. So if you're not using the wand, don't leave the hose plugged in, otherwise you'll have no suction. And then your tools just park right there. The machine is surprisingly small. And just to clarify how you're supposed to do this cord real quick. So on a vacuum like this, because the cord hooks are low, you actually want to clip your cord here so you don't run it over accidentally. Put your hose on and then wind it above your hose like that is how it's intended to. I just want to give you an idea how tiny this thing is next to some of the other budget offerings I recommend here on the channel. It seems small even next to the Hoover. Again, it's extra narrow, extra small, so it almost seems like this is meant for a secondary vacuum or somebody with a really small carpeted only apartment. But the fact that it's bagless is not the best pick for an apartment, since you have to go outside and empty it every time you use it. So right away, this machine is bagless, which means every time you use it or you get to the full line, there's going to be maintenance involved. So let's see what that is. So we have a filter which is already covered in fuzzies, but I think those are fuzzies from the manufacturer. There's just a micro filter there. And then, yes, you have your release under here, but what you'll probably end up doing, looking at the shape and design of the cyclone, it's a single cyclone, you'll probably have to take this out and wash this occasionally. That just gives a half twist. So it's easy to maintain, at least. And again, you will be maintaining this and emptying this. Make sure you go outside when you do that. You never want to do that inside a house or an apartment. And then the thing I noticed on this is there's no actual exhaust or HEPA filter, which means this isn't probably legal for sale in some places with that lack of filtration. Now there's no headlight, anything like that. You have a pedal, which is, well, doesn't really get low. So if you're trying to get low under furniture, under a bed, something like that, don't expect the Amazon Basics machine to really even live up to machines in its class. It doesn't get particularly low. and the head tends to lift up even higher than something like this Hoover. And of course, it's not going to compete with even the least expensive canister. And at the time of filming, this canister that I'm showing here actually costs about the same amount. That's what the pedal is, and you have an on-off switch right there. Gosh, this is all very Bissell-like. If you've ever seen the least expensive Bissell, this is very similar. We have no height adjustment. Instead, we have just a bar that moves up and down. And what that purpose of that bar is that when you're using the accessories, hopefully the brush is lifted off the carpet enough. So do be careful leaving this in one place since that brush doesn't stop. And again, there's no height adjustment or anything like that. Let's take a second to talk about the onboard tools, because you have a crevice tool and a dusting brush. There's no upholstery tool included, so I guess if you have this, you don't have any furniture. The tools can go on the end here, very simple, but they are not a standard 1.25 inch, so good luck finding tools in this size. Every time you remove the wand, you have to unclip the cord and hook this in. There is a nice little lock point on here, so that is nice, at least it locks in place. Then there's your crevice tool. And again, you don't have much reach on this. If you're much over 5 feet, you're going to be bending over quite a bit to try and get in crevices. So with this being a weird size, I wanted to see what does fit on the end of this real quick. I've gathered 5 different sizes of crevice tools, and none of them seem to fit on this. So next, let's see if I can get one of my adapters to fit in this. So good luck finding any additional accessories. So it appears what you get is what you get with this in terms of accessories. So let's see how much suction this has using a working vacuum gauge. Well, it gets 19 inches of working vacuum and about 45-50 inches sealed vacuum. So as we would expect for a vacuum in this price range, it's quite anemic. Just to give you a point of reference on our channel, most of the vacuums we measure get above 30 on this gauge. Usually 40 is considered exceptional, and then when we go above 50, we move into built-in vacuum territory. Now we're going to do a pickup test. We're also going to do a sound test. So you're going to hear the real sound of the machine and how it sounds from a studio microphone. Let's see how it does on this low pile carpet. This is a really low pile carpet. It is abnormally low and probably not something you're going to see in most residencies. We have breakfast cereal, sand, cat litter, and some fresh pet hair. Let's see how the little machine does. Well, left a little bit of sand behind. Yeah, it dislocated some of the cat litter over here. Seemed to pick up the pet hair here, but they did move some pet hair, and I don't know if it'll come out on camera, but right here we have some breakfast cereal. It moved as well. So yeah, that did better than I expected with those numbers. Put everything into here. You can see a little bit of the pet hair is kind of stuck in this cyclone assembly. All right, well, we're done filming here with it, and I just want to show you what the bin looks like now that it's become full. As you can see, it started to well, do that thing that Bagless vacuums do. And I don't know, it looks half full to me. It doesn't look all the way full, but whatever. Yeah, there is all the dust and debris that's passed into the filter. And then whatever is on this side is probably what's passing into the air, as this is all the filtration you get with this little guy. The dust from this is hazardous. Always make sure you go outside when you empty this. Well, I hope this is giving you an idea of what you're getting if you buy pretty much the least expensive vacuum you can buy. I'm not going to recommend this just based on the numbers, the lack of normal features like a carpet height adjustment, or the ability to do hard floor, or the lack of filtration. Even for a Bagless machine, it's pretty bad. I really do appreciate our Patreons supporting the channel, who give us a chance to check out even bad vacuums and inform the public. So big thank you to them for supporting the channel. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped you out a whole lot. If you're looking for a vacuum recommendation, again, I'm going to have that at the end of this video. It should be appearing about now, and you're going to see it in a link below. Have yourself a fantastic day.